Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel about cross stitch. Every once in a while, I throw in something else crafty. Today is a cross stitch day. If you are new, welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play, and I hope you like what you see. You'll subscribe and come back. Always feel free to leave comments and questions. I answer everything. And if you are a returner, well, I just love you guys, and thank you so much. I really do. I'm so pleased that you continue to watch and enjoy and comment and interact. It means the world to me, so thank you. Happy Memorial Day weekend Eve. I can't believe it's already the holiday weekend. It is finally spring here. We finally have some nice weather. In fact, it's already nice outside today, so I've already gotten outside with the dog and gotten some fresh air. It was beautiful. I hope you have a great holiday weekend, whatever you're doing. We are going to do our little family of four. We'll do a barbecue and some fun stuff just to kind of make it seem like a holiday, and I hope wherever you are that you can enjoy the time too. So let's get started to some stitching here. I have a finish, and I can say with 99.9% certainty that this will be the last finish of May, because unless I start something teeny tiny, none of my Maynia starts are getting finished this month. I went big so that I would have big projects to carry through. This one, though, you knew it was close, so it was coming, is Annie Beez, Widow's Walk. So that's what the chart looks like. I am not doing the words, so I did everything else but the words. I love this one so much. It's done on 18 count blue ice from Garibaldis. If you are new, everything is going to be 18 count, in case I forget to say. That is a given. And I will usually try to put down below the fabric color. I'll put 18 count and then who I got it from, since I have been definitely trying different fabric dyers and finally getting into some color, which is so exciting. So this is what it looks like. I had the whale to finish. This water took way longer than I thought it would. And then the little banner at the bottom. But I really like it. I like it on this fabric. It's kind of like, the sky is right there. I have no idea what I plan on doing with it for a finish. I don't know. Usually a lot of these, if I'm doing them, I have kind of an inkling of where I want to go. This I have no idea. None whatsoever. But that's okay. That's half the fun. So I get a chance to just explore different finishing ideas. But that's a finish. I really enjoyed pretty much every stitch of this. And I would really recommend it. If you like those kinds of scenes and images, I would recommend this one from Annie Beez Folk Art. So that's the finish. Now we have my whips. My whips have been my Maynia whips. You know that my Maynia has been a little scaled down. It's not the 20 and 20 or start every single day. I'm doing 4 starts, 1 a week, 1 every Monday. So that's been my Maynia. And let's go through them how I started them whip-wise. I don't have a picture of this one. This is the digital pattern that I have. The first one was from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, Hello Pumpkin. I love this one so much. The colors just bring me so much happiness every time I stitch it. I was hoping to get the fox done, but he is a big guy, so I didn't quite get there. But that's where I am. I kept getting distracted. So if I did part of the color of the fox, and then I'm like, oh, those over there, those are the same color. And then part of the tail, I'm like, oh, that's over there. And this pumpkin took me a while. So I didn't quite get the fox finished, but he will be my goal for this week, and then definitely try to get these leaves going. And then there's an owl down here will be the next big animal, which then sort of rounds out the tree. And then we go down to the trunk and some stuff on the ground. This right here is done on 18 count Nantucket Sky by Fabrics by Stephanie. I love the quality of stitching with this. I love the color, and I think it'll look great afterwards because it's like there's clouds in the sky behind the tree. So I cannot wait every time I pull this out to keep stitching on it. It is so much fun. It's my first caterpillar cross stitch, but I love doing it. So if you like a lot of bright colors and kind of fun stitches, caterpillar cross stitch I would really recommend. Now let's switch color gears altogether. My second start, which is the next whip I'm working on, is Kringles from Little House Needleworks. A totally different color scheme. This one is done on 18 count Artemis by BeStitchMe. And I know it doesn't look like much, but this is a big guy. This is a big guy, and a bunch of stitching takes, it'll take some time. I kept going with the roof, and then I definitely wanted to get the bricks and mortar. I got some of that, and then I want to finish down here. My goal is to finish around this room, and then I'd like to stitch that room and get that stitched up. I think once I see a room, I couldn't do the whole roof all the way across. It would just I couldn't do it. Get boring. But I think if I add the rooms in there, it'll be a lot of fun. So the original was on a gray, maybe a linen, I think is what they had recommended. I really like this. The colors seem to be showing up really nicely against it, even the ecru, which I was a little worried about. But it's not too dark a gray to be a depressing kind of color against these more muted colors. So I am liking this just in a different way. I am really excited for the rooms and making those come alive. It's different than caterpillar cross stitch, but that's okay. I don't need to stitch everything exactly the same. But I'm really, really liking that. And then that is it for whips. I think we are going to have a short video. I thought that last week, and then it was one of my longer ones at 35, which I know from some of you is like, ooh, that would be a quick one. But for me, that's long. Those are my whips. And then I had a new start on Monday. This week, I started Halloween Cat from Satsuma Street. I went back to the colorful scheme. I did not have fabric along those lines, but I did do a grayish with some purple tones, and I think the colors are gonna really look good. This is a 18 count blue gray, and again, depending on the light, sometimes it shows a little purpley. Kind of reminds me of Shale from Picture This Plus, how sometimes it's totally gray, but if the light hits it just right, I see purple tints in it. That's what I see with this one. And this is by Garibaldis. This is gone quickly. I was really pleased with how far I had gotten. Now, there is some backstitching here, which will make the face come alive. I think once I start to, I think the colors with the trees and the pumpkins are really gonna pop on this. These colors are a little bit lighter, but then it gets really bright as you keep going. This is the first time I've stitched a Satsuma. I'm really liking it. Her charting is fantastic. I was stitching this outside the other day, and the poor chart, the wind got it a few times, so it's already looking a little ragged. But I couldn't resist. The weather had been so awful all spring that anytime I get a chance to sit outside now, I'm taking advantage of it. So that's where I am with my new start. So excited, having fun with this. This will not be the last Satsuma. I really enjoyed that. And she is another one with the bright colors, and I am really enjoying that look. So that's my Maynia start for this past week. So I have one more Maynia start, which I will show you. You know what? Let's just show it now. Let's show you my last one. My last Maynia start. And this one was tough because I have fabric in my head that I wanted to do, and I couldn't find just the right shade. I did like Jade from Picture This Plus, but it's a very long pattern. It's the My Christmas List by Silver Creek Samplers. And I stitch in hand. And Picture This Plus is so floppy that I wasn't sure I wanted to do all of this with that fabric. So I won last week, actually. I showed this. I had won this from BeStitchMe in a Friday night fight night. And it doesn't say what shade of green it is. There's no color. It's an unnamed color. So I'll have to ask her what this was, because I do like this green. I think it's pretty. So this is the green. And then these are the colors against it. What do you think? Now there is one green that's very, very similar, I think, to the shade of the fabric, but I looked at the pattern and I know on one of them it's surrounded by white and then it's surrounded by green, darker greens in the other. So I think though, even though it's a lighter color, I think it'll be surrounded enough that it won't just blend in. And then if there are any others that don't look good, maybe I'll exchange. But thoughts? What do you think? I think this would be pretty for the Christmas list. The other colors seem to look really nice against it. So that's my plan for Monday's start. I am going to iron off all of these lovely little creases first, and then I will get started on that on Monday. I have been looking forward to this one, and it's been fabric. It's been what do I do for fabric that has really kept me from wanting to start's the wrong, from actually starting it. And I had, like I said, that picture in my head of what I really wanted to do with it. And so every time I've gotten a few different greens, and it's like, nope, that doesn't quite work. Nope, that doesn't quite work. So when I won this, and I didn't even realize it, I just thought it was a pretty color. When I won it and it came in, after the video last week, I was looking at it and I said, you know, let me throw the flosses against it, because I think I may have accidentally, happily found the fabric I want to use. So that was, that's the plan. That's the plan for Monday. I have some shopping, and it's mostly fabric because I'm so trying to build up a fabric stash. If Maynia has taught me anything, I had different ideas of all four of what I wanted to use for fabric, and having a fabric stash would make that so much easier because I am definitely liking color. Now, mind you, a lot of my colors, I love blue. See the wall behind me? That is my entire main area here, up my stairs, and then the hallway upstairs as well. I love blues, grays, those kinds of things. So some of you may say, Laura, that's still kind of a neutral in my eyes, but for me, it's definitely more, I like the cool tone colors more than the warm tones a lot. So that's where you'll see a lot of my colors choices come from, but not all, because certain things just beg to be stitched on certain colors. So I did participate last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't remember, 2 weeks ago maybe. I don't know, Friday night fight night from BeStitchMe. So Friday night, she puts up fabrics and you go in and try to claim something. And if you do, you get it, if you're the first one to claim it. Now these are no named, or this one isn't, so I don't have an idea of what it would be called, but it's blue, pretty blue. Not a lot of modeling on this one, which is fine. I just like the pretty color. I could see a lot of patterns looking good on that. This one is just a gray, and there are definitely hints of almost green in it with this one. Well, they're more gray, but again, depending on how the lighting hits it. I actually bought some grays this week, and I can definitely show you up against them. This tone is different than some of the other ones. I like, and I know some people don't like haul so much. What I really love about when I see the fabrics is it's so tough on the computer sometimes to tell on the screen what color is that, because, you know, either they've done it on linen or whatever. Everything you're going to see from me is Aida 18 count. So that just gives you an idea of what it would look like in that, and whether it's a lighter or darker color scheme, so that now then if you go back to one of these sites and you say, well, I couldn't really tell, but I remember I liked XYZ shade. So that's why I like when people show those and post those, and when they post on Facebook, when they get happy fabric mail, I'm always clicking on and trying to see what color the tag says, especially if I really like one. So that was just listed as gray. And then I had won those two in Fight Night, and Brandy does giveaways, and you put your name in for different things you may want. And I threw my name in for this. Last week, the last one, remember how I accidentally bought an opal and didn't realize it? So I put my name in for this one, and I won it. So this is an opal, and those are the colors. Really, really like those. No idea what I'll stitch on this, but it's fun to have in the stash, because then when I'm ready, there will be something that will look perfect on that, and I will have it. I also just went to Brandy's website. Probably, it's about 4 weeks. She was running about 4 weeks, which is fine. She says 2 to 4 weeks when you make an order, and that's what this was. Just a bunch of colors to add into my stash. Now this one is called Mummy. This one is actually, I saw both Janet from Janet Jabber and Becca from Sambry Stitches. They had been stitching on something called Sandstorm from BeStitchMe when I really liked it. So I reached out to Brandy and I asked her, because I didn't see it on the website, and she said that Sandstorm is now Mummy. So if you're looking for Sandstorm, it's the Mummy color. And that's what that looks like. It's really pretty, and I can show you the difference in shades, because I did pick up Toast, which is, it reminds me of a coffee tea dyed type of shade. Oh, that's pretty right there. So Toast is definitely darker, and then you had Mummy, which is along the lighter lines. By itself, it's got a nice, pretty, subtle, but you can definitely see how light it is compared to the Toast. Then I picked up, I'm stitching what am I stitching on Artemis? Kringles. I really liked it, so I just picked up some more of that. It's a nice gray. And then I can show you the difference here between these. This one is Ice Queen, which is the darker gray. So depending on if you're looking for a lighter or darker gray, you've got Artemis here, and then Ice Queen right here. And those are the two differences with those. Then I went bright. This one is April Showers. I think this might have been was this a fabric of the month for the color fabric of the month a few months ago? I just started fabric of the month, and I just started with neutrals, but her colors have been so fun that I may get the color as well. So that one's called April Showers. No clue what I'm stitching on it, but it is a cheerful, beautiful blue. And then this one is called Princess. And originally I thought, oh, that reminds me a lot of Nantucket Sky from Fabric by Stephanie. But then I looked at it, and I'll show you the differences there with those. So if you want a sky scene that's really light and subtle, this Nantucket Sky by Fabric by Stephanie's really works. If you want something that's a little bit deeper of a blue with the modeling, then Princess from BeStitchMe is a gorgeous choice. So those are the two differences there. It's so funny in your head. You know how you think a certain thing is a certain color, and then you go to look at it in comparison to something else, and you're like, wow, my brain completely didn't remember that the right way. It's kind of like if you want to do decorating, I find, at least with the house, because I'll say, oh, the color of the wall is XYZ, that looked good, and then I come back and I say, oh, the color of my walls is not really that shade after all. I need to rethink my plan. So those were from Brandy at BeStitchMe. And then I have a couple more fabrics. I tried a new fabric dyer. I have been, I want to support the small business crafty owners, and Two, I want to build up my stash, and I want to find, different dyers do different shades and different lines. So I figured I usually try buying a couple from somebody first to see how I like their quality of fabric and what it looks like. And if I like it, then I know I will get some more. This is from Hand Dyed Happiness. She has an Etsy shop. I think she does have a website as well. I'm pretty sure she does. I bought these off of the Etsy site. This one is called Butter. Isn't that pretty? So, so pretty. Again, I don't know. I have a few ideas of what I'm stitching on this, but I don't know for sure. In some lights, it's more yellow. In some, it's a little bit more orangey, but it's really, really pretty. And I know when I open it, it kind of washes it out a bit. That's what it looks like. And then the other one I got, I wasn't sure how dark this would be. But I figured I'll give it a try anyway. Obsidian. So it's along the black shades. And I don't know if it'll come out, but there's really, really subtle variations. So it's a little blacker than gray. So I don't know if you would consider it like a dirty chalkboard because it's not as gray. Oops, there's the tag. But there are some variations in it. Black is the base, obviously. Oh, let me see here. They're nice weight fabrics. They are not super, super stiff, but they are not completely floppy like you would get from Picture This Plus either. I really enjoyed them. In fact, so much that I got them and a few days later, I placed another order for some more colors. So that will be coming. I'm not sure exactly when. I think it's supposed to be here sometime by the middle of June. She is in North Carolina, I believe. So it doesn't take long shipping-wise once they are dyed and off. So I'm looking forward to, I think I'm trying a green shade, and I don't remember what else. I tried two or three shades that I am going to try and add to my my fabric stash. So this is Hand Dyed Happiness. Kimberly Tuttle is the owner. And I am really pleased with the quality, the customer service, everything about it. So if you want to check her out, I will link it down below along with everything else that I have showed. I have one digital pattern that I got. So I went and I bought some more fabric from Hand Dyed Happiness, and I said, you look at your wish list on Etsy, and every once in a while you just have to hit add to cart for the digital patterns. Usually what I'll do is I put all of the things in my wish list, and then as I decide, okay, I'm gonna make that purchase, then I pop them in the cart. So this one is from The Little Stitcher, and it's Mary Poppins. I have no idea what in the world I would do with this. I just loved it. Every time I saw it when I would go to her site, I just liked looking at it. And so I said, you know what? I think this would make me happy to stitch. So I bought it. I have not stitched anything from The Little Stitcher yet, so I'm excited to give this one a go. Not sure what I'll stitch color-wise on yet, but there's another pattern. I think my goal in June might be to print out and organize my digital patterns, just so I don't buy things that I already have. But this is that. So that's the shopping there. All right, stitchy part done. I have a couple giveaway things to talk about. So the giveaway is really, really easy this week. I had this, it's a heavy magazine. It's not really a book, but it's one of those heavy magazines. It's an old one from Leisure Arts that somehow or other made it through multiple moves of houses and years of no cross stitch. And I had asked if you were looking for it to put below, some different people that you were enjoying stitching or would like to stitch pattern-wise. And I had one person answer. So Teresa, you won. Teresa Butler, you were the only one to answer down in the area to enter. So I will add this to the other item I have to ship to you. Let's touch base about how UK shipping is. And as soon as you feel comfortable with me shipping off to you, maybe in June, I don't know. How is international shipping going for anybody international? Is it still tough? I know the US hasn't been too bad. I watch a lot of my orders, I track them. And I have to say, for the most part, they're taking maybe an extra day or two, but for the most part, things are pretty good shipping wise, I have to say, within the US. And I live on I live in New England, so pretty much everything is far from me to a decent degree. And generally I get people buying from all over the country. So I have to say I've had a good chance to look at how shipping is running, and it seems to be doing pretty good so far for what it's worth. So hopefully it will continue to do good. And but international wise, I'm interested to hear from you guys how it's doing. I do ship internationally, both for my business and for giveaways. I'd of course ship internationally, but I don't want to send something if there's any chance that you may not get it in a timely fashion. So I'll wait for that. But Teresa, you know my email, so let's chat. I do have, because it's a holiday weekend, I thought I would do another giveaway. And this one this week is from Stitching with the Housewives. It is the July Truckin' Along. So there you go. There are 2 sections that you can stitch separately, the top part and the bottom. You can display them separately, or you can add them all like the example shows here. So what I want to know, it's a holiday weekend, and usually there's picnics and barbecues from now through the summer. So what is your favorite side dish to bring to a picnic or a barbecue? Like, what's your go-to? If someone says, you're invited to come to my house for a barbecue, and you say, what can I bring? And I usually, when somebody asks me that, I a lot of times I'll say, well, what is there something you like to bring? Because I know for me, I have my comfortable things that I can make that then make it less stressful for me if I bring something, because I want to make sure everybody will like it. And also, given the fact that I am vegan, usually I try to make things that I can eat, because I know at barbecues and picnics it can be difficult sometimes. So if you ever have family members that for health reasons or whatever reason cannot have meat, dairy, egg, all those types of things, and you want to offer some options, send me a quick email. When I do barbecues here, and we overdo it on the sides, I have to say, we cook for like twice as many people as are actually coming. I have some ideas for you. So if you're ever stuck, don't feel like you need to scramble and not know what to do. Give me a holler and I will help you out there. But so I want to know what you like to bring, and it can be anything. Don't worry about whether or not. I mean, we have lots of meat eaters in our family and so on and so forth. I'm the anomaly in the family. So bring it all on. Let me know. And as usual, please don't say giveaway. Please be over 18, all that good stuff. And if you'd like to be a subscriber, I would really love that too. That is always so nice and lovely of you to do. And that's it. That's all I've got. I'm going to do a very quick, short life talk. So if you are not interested, head on off. If you are, just a couple minutes to let you know that if you've ever followed me on Instagram, or if you do, you will have noticed that earlier in the year I posted about us signing papers to build a house. And we are building the house in Delaware, down in Rehoboth. And so I will eventually be living down in Delaware. And this is not, we'll build it, and then my son still has to finish high school. So we'll be in a couple places for a little bit, but eventually that's where will be our home. And so this Monday was a big day for us. This whole process with the states closing has made it a little bit more difficult. We could not go in person to do all of our choosing. We had to do a virtual appointment, which was Monday. And so our entire house, from carpets to cabinets to floor to lighting to everything, or the outside, the siding, the roof, you name it, we had to pick it on Monday. So we had a nice long appointment with some fabulous designers, and they did a great job. I was really worried about it being virtual, because I'm a visual person. I like to see all the different things. But we did a lot of homework ahead of time with some of the choices and colors. And I laugh because the house is definitely a blue and a gray scheme. The cool colors will have prevailed through the house. And we had gotten tired of, everything was blending in our head before this appointment. And so we had to choose counter and cabinet for another bath, for not the master bathroom, but another. And we just kind of threw stuff into it. And the designer was really nice. She's like, this really doesn't go with the flow of all of the other colors you'll see as you go in. And it was like, probably not, because it's a completely different, we went in a totally different direction because I think we were just burnt out from that. So she was very lovely about steering us and helping us with those last few choices. But hopefully, as things go along, we'll still have some virtual things that we won't be able to see in person, but I hope along the way that I will be able to show pictures on Instagram and share with you our journey. I'm really excited. It hasn't seemed real since we had signed the papers, because then everything stopped when the world kind of stopped. And so this is a really exciting time. And if anybody has ever decorated a house and loves doing it, even if you've never really done a full, but you love doing it, and let me know, because I will might have to bend your ear a lot, because I'm a little intimidated by a whole house as opposed to just taking it, you move in and you keep some things and you eventually change. And so if that's something you really enjoy and you are good at it, let me know, because over the next 6 months, I am probably going to want to bend your ear off. Hopefully, we're looking at finishing sometime around November, and we'll see. So that's the process that will keep me busy and excited over the summer of other things going on with life. But I hope you are doing well, and I hope you have a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing. And I thank you so much for sticking with me and watching. And my stitchy friends, until next time, happy stitching!